Thank you very much. It's terrific to see everybody here. As you've just heard, I'm Andy Shenk. I'm the CEO at Auckland UniServices. For those of you who may not know our organization very well, UniServices is often referred to as a commercialization company of the University of Auckland, and in fact we are that. But commercialization is actually just one small part of what we do. We cover a vast array of work here at the university, and we really see ourselves as the knowledge transfer organization for the university. We work with government, we work with other universities, we work with industry, and we work in New Zealand and in more than 30 countries around the world. Now, you've already heard today the use of the word partnership many times, and I hope to share with you some of the ways that we see partnership in action through our work with the Family Violence Clearinghouse, in our relationships with government, and so forth. You've also heard the word evidence many times, and I strongly support the critical value and contribution of deep scholarship turned into evidence and insight that can be used in the real world. That is a key part of what we're about in UniServices and everything we do. And I hope you can see from all the things that have been said how important that is in an activity such as the activities carried out by the Family Violence Clearinghouse. The last thing that I think is critically important is the word prevention. Looking at the history and seeing how central prevention was in the initial enunciation of what this entire effort was about is still hugely instructive. And as I'll mention a bit later, the proportion of effort and the amount of activity that we collectively put into prevention could still be much greater than it is today. Surely the best intervention is for never having to make the other interventions later on. So I strongly support, and certainly our organization strongly supports, the combination of working in partnership, of developing the right kind of evidence, and in aspiring for prevention that makes a huge difference for our society. Now, I'm especially and personally pleased to be here as part of this birthday celebration. Celebrating our success, celebrating this team's success is hugely important. Why? It shows we're doing the right things. It shows we're making a difference. None of us would have done this for 10 years. None of us would have continued to work. These are smart, creative, committed people, and they would have found something better to be smart and creative and committed to if they had not seen and not been able to have the kind of effect that they were aiming to have. So, well done. Excuse me. It is, though, quite unfortunate. In fact, I think it's tragic that family violence is so prevalent and pervasive in our society. And yet the evidence for what works in preventing and healing the effects of family violence is relatively scarce, both nationally and internationally. The Clearinghouse and its very existence is a testament to the acute need for access to the evidence that does exist and the need for wisdom and insights from the thought leaders who provide that evidence. Now, in addition to acknowledging this team, I think it's also important to congratulate Janet and Pauline on recently being awarded an MBIE targeted research grant that will fund the development of more of an evidence-based platform for family violence prevention. There's that word again, here in New Zealand. This is a demonstrable example of what we like to see happen in all our projects at UniServices, which is adding value to the partnerships we partake in through the combination of top quality research and scholarship, and then the translation of that research and scholarship into action for our partners in government, for our partners in the community. Now, I've been told recently that currently as a nation, we only spend about 1.5% of the annual government spend on this entire area. Only about 1.5% is spent on prevention. That may be because there isn't enough good evidence to help us understand what will work. But the new research that is just kicking off should contribute greatly to the creation of that evidence, and I hope we will see much more effort placed on prevention so that we can rise above this problem as a country. Now, I think you can see that the Family Violence Clearinghouse is a great example of how the university as an academic institution can contribute to addressing serious problems facing our society. We're very pleased in our partnership with Subaru and to be able to provide the translational research to a broad range of actors in this sector. I do think there's more that we could offer, and I do think you should be paying for it. Here we have an organization that's increased key numbers in their performance 400%. You're getting a bargain. And the new initiative that's just been announced today about establishing the new training and the new certificates and diplomas in this area suggests to me this team has a great opportunity to move into national contribution and development of workforce training and other kinds of development programs for all of the sector in the country. Now, we know we can do that. We have a great example here at the University of Auckland. It's called the Wherry Center. And we already partner with the Ministry of Health in doing this. The Wherry Center's Infant, Child, and Adolescent Mental Health Workforce Program is a great example, and one we can learn from and build off of as we translate this new initiative that was announced today into an opportunity for the workforce across the nation. And we look forward to working with Subaru to making that happen. So over the past 4 years, since the clearinghouse has been here at Auckland, the team has gone from strength to strength. You see an amazing amount of output and productivity by a very small number of dedicated people. And we look forward to much more as this area grows and your influence continues to have the kind of positive effect that you've always aspired to have. Happy birthday.